Imagine this scene, Cules, a Saturday night in Cornellà, under the harsh lights of the RCD Stadium, where Atletico de Madrid, fresh and renewed, faces Espanyol. A seemingly ordinary match, but one that will send shockwaves far beyond the borders of Madrid. Because that night, Julian Alvarez, the former Manchester City prodigy, will experience a moment that could redraw the balance of Spanish football and place FC Barcelona at the center of a perfect storm. But what does Barca have to do with this story? You might ask. Wait. Everything is about to connect. Everything is about to explode. It all starts with a masterful free kick from Julian Alvarez. A missile that crashes into the top corner, the kind of goal that electrifies the stands and gives the illusion that Atletico, finally, is about to take off. But football is a Greek tragedy, and tonight, fate strikes. Espanyol, the brave newly promoted team, wakes up, equalizes, and then takes the lead. And that's when Diego Pablo Simeone, the Iron Man, commits the irreparable. He substitutes Julian Alvarez. The world champion, the goal-scorer, the man who carries his team on his shoulders. "Why me?" Julian shouts as he leaves the pitch, his eyes burning with rage. "I'm the one who makes the difference." Simeone, impassive, throws a phrase that will change everything. "Here, I'm the one in charge. If you don't like it, you know where the door is." These words, like a dagger, echo in the locker room. Julian explodes. "I'm not a pawn, Cholo. I'm a world champion." He punches a locker, pure anger. "I don't deserve this." And that's when everything changes. Because that night, Julian Alvarez doesn't just lose his temper. He picks up his phone and makes a call that will shake La Liga. "Fernando, get moving. I want to leave. And I want to go to Real Madrid." In Barcelona, in the offices of the Ciutat Esportiva, they're watching the match closely. Joan Laporta, the president, and Deco, the sporting director, exchange a worried glance. "If Julian Alvarez signs with Real Madrid, we have a problem," Deco murmurs. "A huge problem. Because Barca, already weakened by departures and injuries, cannot afford to see Real Madrid sign a world-class striker. We have Lewandowski aging," Laporta sighs. "Fermin and Yamal are talents, but they need time. If Madrid signs Julian, we're in trouble." Worse still, the rumors are spreading. Florentino Perez is preparing a masterstroke. Whispers are heard in the corridors of the Bernabeu. Julian Alvarez is the ultimate weapon against Barca. Because Julian is the complete striker, the one who can change everything. Fast, technical, a natural finisher. Exactly what we're missing, Deco thinks bitterly. And exactly what Madrid needs to crush us. But the worst is yet to come. The next day, Julian Alvarez receives a package at his home. A white box, elegant, with an embossed emblem, the Real Madrid crest. Inside, a pristine jersey with his name on the back. "Soon, you'll be able to choose your number, if you take the step." The message is clear. "We want you. We're waiting for you." Julian, stunned, realizes that Real Madrid is serious. Very serious. Robert Lewandowski senses the wind turning. The Polish legend of Barca knows his time is running out. "I give everything, but I'm not a kid anymore," he confides to Xavi after training. "If Madrid signs Julian, we're in trouble." Xavi, his face closed, nods. "I know, Robert. But we can't compete. Not this season." Lewandowski clenches his fists. "Then we're going to get crushed. Again." Because Barca, this season, is a giant with feet of clay. Finances are in the red. Young talents like Fermin Lopez and Lamine Yamal are promising but too inexperienced to carry the attack alone. "We need a real number 9, Deco insists to Laporta. "But who? Vlahovic? Osimhen? They cost a fortune. And Julian Alvarez?" Laporta asks, desperate. "Too late. He's already in Madrid's net." Meanwhile, in Madrid, Florentino Perez rubs his hands together. "Julian at Real is the icing on the cake," he declares to his inner circle. "With him and Mbappe, we're going to crush Barca." Because Real Madrid has only one goal, to dominate La Liga, humiliate Barca, and build a dynasty. And with Julian, we're almost there, adds Juni Calafat, the sporting director. Fermin Lopez and Lamine Yamal, Barca's fragile hope. In the Barca locker room, Fermin Lopez and Lamine Yamal listen to the rumors with anxiety. Julian Alvarez at Real Madrid, exclaims Yamal, wide-eyed. It's going to be hell. Fermin, calmer, tries to reassure him, we've got talent, Lamine. We can beat them. But we need experience. Yamal retorts. Against Julian and Mbappe, we're going to get eaten alive. Xavi tries to keep a cool head. We'll fight, he declares in a press conference. No matter who signs where. Barca remains Barca. But in the young player's eyes, you can read the worry. Without a real striker, we can't compete, Fermin murmurs to GAVI. And if we can't compete, it's a crisis. Joao Felix, the man who could change everything, or make it all collapse. And then there's Joao Felix. The Portuguese, on loan at Atletico but still owned by Barca, follows the Julian Alvarez affair closely. If Julian leaves, Simeone will call me back, he thinks. But do I really want to stay in Madrid? Because Joao Felix also has a dream, to return to Barca. I've always loved this club, he confides to his agent. If Barca takes me back, I'll sign right away. But Laporta hesitates. Joao Felix. Huge talent, but a risky bet, he sighs. And we don't have the funds to buy him back. So what do we do? Deco asks, exasperated. Let Real Madrid sign Julian and get crushed. The bomb, Julian Alvarez chooses Real Madrid. The hammer blow falls on a September morning. Julian Alvarez has signed an agreement with Real Madrid, Marca headlines. Transfer in January. In Barcelona, there is consternation. It's over, a director murmurs. They're going to dominate us for years. Lewandowski grits his teeth. We can't let them do this, he growls. We have to react. But how? Barca has no money. The options are limited. We could try a swap deal with Joao Felix, Deco suggests. But Simeone won't let him go. Not now. Barca faces its destiny, fight or sink. The situation is desperate, but not lost. We still have weapons, Xavi declares to his team. Fermin, Lamine, GAVI. You are the future. But we need help, Fermin replies. We can't face Julian Alvarez and Mbappe with just young players. Laporta attempts one last gamble. What if we propose a swap to Atletico? Joao Felix for a player plus cash. They'll never go for it, Deco replies. Not after the crisis with Julian. The clock is ticking. The storm is coming. And Barca must decide, fight or sink. The clash that looms, Barca versus Real Madrid, the season of all dangers. The 2025/2026 La Liga season is not just any season. It's an announced earthquake, a storm brewing on the horizon, and FC Barcelona stands on the edge of a precipice, eyes fixed on the Madrilenian ogre preparing to crush everything in its path. With Julian Alvarez, Real Madrid won't just be a team, it'll be a war machine, headlines AS, accompanied by a photo of the Argentine smiling alongside Kylian Mbappe, both in white jerseys, like a warning to all of Europe. They're going to crush us, murmurs an old socio of Barca, fingers tightly gripping his Blaugrana scarf in front of the Camp Nou. We don't have the weapons to compete anymore. The terraces of Barcelona's bars buzz with anxious conversations. We're going to suffer, admits another, eyes glued to his phone scrolling through videos of Julian Alvarez exploits in a Manchester City jersey. But we won't lower our arms. Never. Because that's what it means to be a Cule, to believe against all odds, to hope when all seems lost, to fight even when the whole world buries you. Behind the scenes at Camp Nou, a storm brewing. In the back rooms of the Camp Nou, the atmosphere is electric. The walls seem to vibrate under the weight of expectations and fears. Xavi Hernandez, standing before his team, looks each player in the eye. They say we're finished, that we don't have the means, that we're too young, too fragile, he says, his voice hoarse with emotion. But you know what? We've heard that before. In 2003, when Madrid's Galacticos dominated us. In 2017, when we lost Neymar and they buried us. And yet, He pauses, letting the silence settle. And yet, we always got back up. Because Barça isn't just a club. It's a faith. A way of playing. A way of resisting. His words echo through the locker room. GAVI, fists clenched, nods. We're not going to let them walk all over us. Not without a fight. Fermin Lopez, sitting next to him, feels his heart beating faster. We've got the talent. We just need the rage. Xavi smiles, a sad, almost nostalgic smile. The rage, Fermin, we've always had it. We just need to wake it up. The spectre of Madrilenian domination. In Madrid, they're already rubbing their hands together. This season, La Liga is ours, declares a Real Madrid executive, anonymously. With Julian and Mbappe, we've got an attack that can score in every match. And Barça, what do they have? An aging Lewandowski, talented kids with no experience, and a defense that crumbles under pressure. The numbers are ruthless. Real Madrid has scored 15 goals in 5 preseason matches. Julian Alvarez has netted 6, as if he's already sending a message to his future rivals. They're going to humiliate us, fears a Catalan journalist. And not just in La Liga. In the Champions League too. Barça fans know this season will be torture. Every Clásico will be an ordeal, every defeat a dagger to the heart. We're going to have to endure the mockery, the revisited 2-6 jokes, the Barça is dead chants on every street corner, sighs a long-time season ticket holder. But we've seen worse. Much worse. He remembers the 2003-2004 season, when Real Madrid's Zidane, Ronaldo, and Figo crushed everything in their path. We finished second, 10 points behind. And then came Frank Rijkaard. And Ronaldinho. And everything changed. So he refuses to give up. This time, it'll be the same. All it'll take is a spark. A match. A player. But who? Lewandowski, the last bastion of a bygone era. Robert Lewandowski listens to the rumors, the apocalyptic analyses, the predictions. Too old. Too slow. Finished. He's heard it all his career. And every time, he's answered on the pitch. But today, at 36 years old, even he is starting to doubt. I can still score, I can still help the team, he murmurs to Araujo after training. But I can't carry everything alone. He looks around. Fermin, Yamal, GAVI. These kids have talent to spare, but they need time. And time is something we don't have. One evening, after a session at the Ciutat Esportiva, he stays alone on the pitch, taking free kicks over and over. We can't let them do this, he growls, sending a ball into the top corner. Not without a fight. He knows this will be his last season at Barça. I won't leave like this. Not with Madrid crushing us. So he works. Again. Always. If I have to die on the pitch to make them understand what it means to wear this jersey, I will. Fermin Lopez. Explosion or collapse. Fermin Lopez feels the weight of expectations on his shoulders. The new Iniesta, some say. The savior of Barça, others hope. A kid who isn't ready, sneers the Madrid press. Julian Alvarez is going to eat you alive. The words sting, but Fermin keeps them to himself. They're right about one thing, he admits to PEDRI one evening when the locker room silence is suffocating. I'm not ready. Not yet. But something burns inside him. But I will be. He spends his days studying Real Madrid's matches, analyzing Julian Alvarez's movements. He's fast, technical, and has monstrous game intelligence, he notes in his notebook. But he has one weakness. He hates being pressed high. Fermin smiles. So that's what we'll do. We'll harass him. We'll hunt him down. We'll show him that the Camp Nou isn't taken like that. PEDRI, impressed, nods. You've got that in you, Fermin. That madness. That rage. Yes, he replies, eyes shining. And I'm going to unleash it. Lamine Yamal, the wild hope of a generation. Lamine Yamal is 17 years old, with dreams in his head and the world at his feet. The new Messi, whisper the optimists. An overhyped kid, scoff the skeptics. Do you know what they say about you in Madrid? A teammate teases him. That they're going to break you. That you're too young. Too fragile. Lamine doesn't respond. He just smiles. Let them talk. Because Lamine Yamal isn't afraid. Julian Alvarez is a monster, he acknowledges. But so am I. He remembers his first start, his first goal, the way the Camp Nou vibrated for him. They think we're going to tremble? That we're going to back down? He shakes his head. They don't know us. In his mind, he already sees the scene. The Clasico at Camp Nou, 90,000 fans roaring his name, and him dribbling past Carvajal before humiliating Courtois. It'll be us or them. And I don't plan on losing. Joao Felix, the return of the prodigy? And then there's Joao Felix, the eternal cursed talent, the man who could change everything. If Barca calls me back, I'll sign tomorrow, he confides to his agent one night, when nostalgia for Barcelona grips him. There, I felt at home. But the negotiations are complicated. Simeone doesn't want to let me go, he sighs. And Barca has no money. Yet, there's a glimmer of hope. What if we proposed a swap? A player plus a percentage on a future transfer. His agent thinks. It's risky. But if Barca insists. And somewhere, in the shadows of the Camp Nou, a spark ignites. Visca el Barca. Always.